This is Josh Durand, my friend.
How we doing?
He's currently a painter at the Twin Lakes apartment complex. But you want to just introduce yourself a little bit?
Of course. My name is Josh, and as he said, I'm a professional interior painter for a real estate company called the Soloman organization. And they own properties all up the East Coast and all the way down to South Carolina, I believe, is the furthest we go. But yeah, we own plenty of properties here up in the, where are we? Upper East Side?
Upstate New York.
Upstate New York, well, we're like, yeah, why did I say that? I don't even know. But either way, upstate New York, Adirondack area, Albany. Yeah, so we have about, I don't know how many properties, but we have so many properties. But here in Clifton Park, where we are specifically, we have 5 properties on one road.
So how did you get into this position you are in now?
Well, see, my family has been in the painting business like forever. My great grandfather was a painter, and I never thought I'd be painting, but the more I went on, I did go to school. I went to school for a semester and realized I was paying money for something. I literally had no idea. I was like, I think I'm wasting my money and my time here because I really have no idea what I'm going to be doing here. So here you think you're gonna, I want to be a dental hygienist like I thought I wanted to be, but then you got your prerequisites and then all that stuff, and then so didn't work out, and I ended up finding the trade painting, because it's just in the family. We have businesses all around, and yeah, so I ended up working for a family company, and ever since then it just escalated. I realized I wanted to own a business. Ever since then, I never. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. I've done my own projects here and there, but that's when I realized that working, house painting was definitely the thing to be for me.
Yeah, so this is one of the reasons why I wanted to interview Josh, because he has a different approach in his career path than the other people that we've interviewed, and he took the route not going to school. I think it's a approach that people need to think about more. A lot of life and society gives you this blueprint that you have to go to college to be successful, but no, it's really understanding your finances, where you're at in life. So you want to talk about that a little bit more, about your choice, why? You want to go into more why you thought school wasn't for you?
Honestly, it was a freedom thing. I really wanted to be my own boss, was really the whole thing to it. Like, I wanted to make sure that people, like my employees, if I were to ever employ someone, that they're okay, like they're set. Like, I'm not gonna, like big businesses treat their employees minimum wage to start on some crazy work, but I'm not gonna be anything like that. I want to be different. I want to make sure everybody's good.
Mm-hmm.
But
so you want to talk about your day-to-day activities?
My duties here as an interior painter. Yeah, sure. So basically, I do anything that they ask. I do a lot of specific drywall, taping, painting. Like, I do all that stuff. A lot of sanding. That's gonna kill me one day, but that's okay. I'm doing what I love, so it doesn't matter. But that's besides the point. I paint apartments every single day of my life. I can either take my time with it if I know I'm ahead of the game, or I can, I feel like I'm confident enough with my work that I can go at my own pace. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Because that was something that was built up though, right?
Yeah, when I first started, man, they threw me into a closet because, there was no carpets on the ground. They were like, you can't screw up, man. So I took like an hour to do this closet, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm just like, all right, let me get the hang of this, and then.
Yeah, are there any
now,
more stories?
Yeah, I was gonna say now I'm doing full apartments in a day. They're like, this place is rented for the first. It's the 31st. Yep. Oh God, working 12-hour days now. Oh man, sometimes, not all the time, but it definitely has its time. I've worked a 19-hour day, like doing my own project on the side. That's just for extra money. Like, who doesn't love money? But if you want money, you gotta work for it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But if you're doing what you love, I really didn't mind it. You even helped me the one time.
Yeah.
Remember that? That was it. Yeah, it was fun. Right?
You want to explain that a little bit and how you found that, and
The side project?
Yes.
Okay, so my first side project, I actually have a friend who works at a suit store, Men's Warehouse to be specific, and his boss, Shabir, needed his house painted, his little twin house there. That's the one you went to, and yeah, I was like, hey man, my boss is looking for a painter, and I suggested you, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, give him swap information or whatever, and gave me a call, and we came up with a price. I looked at his house, and I ended up doing it. But this business works. The quicker you do it, and the quicker you do it, the more money you make. So I ended up working some long hours because I work full time here, full 8 hours, 7:30 to 4. And then as soon as I'm done, I would come home, eat some food, shower up, shoot right to the project, non-stop till 3 in the morning sometimes. Yeah.
So do you think that's something that you'll keep doing to build your future business?
If I have to, if it comes down to the point where I'm like, oh no, I don't have somebody to work for me, or I don't have help, and I really took on a project that's like huge or something that I thought was within my capabilities, but yeah, honestly, probably.
What's the biggest thing you learned from either that or just like your work in general as being like this tradesman as a painter?
Managing yourself.
You explain that?
Yeah, you're able to. You're in charge. You're in charge of the game at this point because you're talking to homeowners who own this, beautiful home, and they want this nice job. They don't want to pay just anybody. You know what I mean? So you take that as serious as possible. You're in charge of all equipment. You're in charge of if you get something on their carpet, like you don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? Like you're in charge, man. So it's no joke.
Nice.
I do love it.
If you were to go back, what it was like to work at other places and then finding somewhere that now you've been for a
right. So the place that I've been with now, the Soloman organization, is kind of like a home now at this point, 3 years into it. And coming from working for some terrible workplaces, I'm talking uninhabitable places that I'm just scraping lead paint, old lead paint from like the 20s off of a ceiling in downtown Troy. Yeah, see, like a job like that, coming from that with like no breathing equipment at all, you know what I mean? Probably have lead poisoning, probably gonna die now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's crazy how no, I'm just kidding, but just the fact of the matter that company would actually put me through that, coming here and being basically paid the same thing to do, something that I actually love doing, it's crazy. It's just amazing.
Do you think those experiences led up to you enjoying this place that much?
Yeah, 100%. You have to go through some deep mud to, get to the solid land, right?
So what would you recommend to these high schoolers, these students that are, they don't potentially know what the opportunities out there? What would you?
I mean, unfortunately, you can't just say, oh, like I said earlier, I'm going to be a hygienist, I'm going to go to school to be that, and then you're going to hit all these bumps, and if you want to go through with that, yeah, and then what happens when you get to that position and you're like, oh no, I don't like doing this. You put in all that money, all that time, all that effort, you know what I mean? Can't stress it enough. You want to go ahead, that's why I would recommend getting a trade, because painting, easy. But I always say it's the easiest of the hard work because it's not necessarily easy, but there's other things that you could be doing. My point being, the mud to the solid land thing, deep mud to the solid land, you gotta try it. You gotta try something. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna be that. You have to
go out and
I said I'm gonna go try painting. If I like getting paid doing painting, then I'll stick with it. You know what I mean? Ever since then, here I am.
Nice. So to the people that are considering not going to college, or even if you want to try it out, how do you think people will find these opportunities? Like looking for jobs, you want to suggest to the people that are having a hard time finding a job or even finding a motivation?
There's a good example of a hard time. The only reason I found this job was because I was going through a hard time.
Okay.
And I was here I am applying to places in Albany, close by in Clifton Park, but one, nobody's hiring, two, didn't have a car at the time. So I was living on this property, here I am, didn't even think anything of it. I walked right in and just, asked about a painting position. I painted once at this time in my life, you know what I mean? Like, and then I just, boom, got they're like, yeah, we need a painter, and ever since then, it's been like that.
And you never painted before that, right?
Little, like outside work, a lot of outside, very, very minimal inside work. Like, they wouldn't let me, go cut the ceiling in or something. They wouldn't let me do anything crazy, but.
Yeah, awesome.
Minimal work.
If you're, if anyone was trying to get into this line of work, what would you kind of tell them? What are the steps?
Specifically?
Trade or paint.
Just
painting
trade.
as you. Just
like I said, if you really don't think college is the route, because you don't know what you want to do, even if it is general education degree, whatever, just to get a job in the future, I'd say you gotta put in. You gotta at least try to like what you're attempting to do at the time. Even if you can apply 10 different construction jobs, and let's say you get a call back from this place, but it's concrete work. You know what I mean? If you can either be picky or you can accept the job, and even if you're in a hard position, take the job. That's what I do.
And you'll learn something from that, right?
Yeah, I would say that perseverance would definitely, like, if you really have to do something, like if you have to feed your kid, I don't know, whatever you got to do, pay your rent, I don't know, pay your car, you got to do what you got to do.
True. So give me the worst thing about your job, or something you could change if you can, and the best thing about your job.
The best thing about I'll start with the best thing.
Yeah.
So the best thing about my job is not only the home pace thing, but I find it's so fluent to me now. It's just like, I just painted an apartment in a day. I'm tired, and I just love. Yeah, perfect example. I love to see the before and after. Like, put me in the worst apartment you got. Put me in your worst, because I'm gonna make it look good. Yeah.
What's one thing you would change about your job? If
the communication, between our office, I think we need to be. Here's the thing: the ladies in the office here don't necessarily have the same trade skills as the maintenance workers do, the painters do, the capital flooring guys do. So they don't know how long certain things take. So what I mean by communication is, this place is rented by the first, but they went and looked at an apartment that's going to take a week, but the first is in 3 days.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Something's off. So that's the one thing I would change about.
Definitely. That's in any organization.
Of course.
Process. Nice. You want to share any inspirations that you have? Some people that you look up to, or some.
Of course. Like I said in the beginning of the interview, my family, the great grandfather, I love my Bobby. He was the man. He unfortunately died of cancer, and most likely, actually, I was gonna say painting, but in paint fumes and whatnot. But he actually was a heavy smoker, so I can't really say that. But either way, God bless his soul. He's not necessarily the reason I got into painting, but he's definitely somebody I think about when I am painting. I'm like, he used to do this. He did this his whole life. If he can do this his whole life, so can I.
That's good.
Yeah.
Any quotes that you live by that you want to maybe share to the audience?
I'm hungry.
There's a cool thing he says too. Whenever someone asks them, what do you say when someone asks you how you're doing?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. And yeah.
That's because I do what I love. And I mean, sometimes things get rough. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has a rough days, I have a hard time making up in the morning. You know how I feel. I get up and go anyways, just because it could be so much worse. It could just be so much worse. You could be walking into a job where it's you're dreading it, you hate your coworker. You know what I mean? It just could be so much worse. So I definitely am grateful for the position there.
Any places you want to visit?
I I haven't really put much thought into this because I don't know. I really want to go to California. I'm actually planning a trip in December to go to California. I'm going to visit my buddy's condo in San Diego. That'll be fun. He's in the military and he's all set out there. So I'm gonna take a peek out there. I think next summer.
You're talking about that. Any hobbies? Just so that people can relate to you.
Of course. The one thing that keeps me clear-headed is hiking. I always hike. Scenery is key. Colors. I love to see blue skies. I love to see overcast weather.
This is like the perfect place for that kind of.
It really is. It's like you get a sense of all the seasons. I hate winter though. Don't get me wrong. I do snow removal in the winter time for this company, and it's terrible.
Just because you're waking up super.
Exactly. So you get the early hours, but the problem is I also have to paint that day. So after you're done shoveling, I'll go paint for another 6 to 8 hours. Go home early though. That's cool, right?
Nice. All right. Any last words?
Last words. I'm not really any kind of inspirational character here, but like I said before. You gotta try stuff, man. Like if you don't try, like it doesn't even matter if you don't even know have any idea what it is. You just gotta give it a shot, because if you don't know if you'll like it or not. Because then what if you make a living? Like in 10 years from now, I could be in computer science, and I don't screw with computers. You know what I mean? But I can.
And something about this job you could carry on to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you get it, even if you work into a nice company like this, you can move up in the company, like become something else higher, with more responsibilities. Even though we've had that conversation, I'm too scared to talk to anybody for a raise.
Have you set some goals? 5 to 10, maybe even a year, 6 months goal. So that we can share.
Okay, so the first goal would be to obviously move out. That would be goal number 1. I don't have an X amount of goals, but I do have goals. I want to own a house. I don't want to. I've never lived in a house before. Moved 14 times in my life and never lived in a house. I want to own a house.
Okay.
It's a goal.
That's a good goal.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna paint it and I'm gonna make it look good.
I think with that, that's a great way to end it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Josh.
Absolutely, Justin. Thank you.
Alright guys, again, this was my friend Josh Durand.
How we doing?
Any shout outs that you want to give?
No shout outs. Hi mom, I guess, but no shout outs. Follow me on Snapchat at Joshy Durand. Follow me on Instagram at Joshy Durand with a Y. Facebook me if you want. If you have any questions, if you have anything, hit me up.
Awesome. Thank you.